Hi everyone, it's Katrina. From dropping turtles on people's heads to ripping their guts out, here are 10 of the most dangerous birds in the world. Number 10. Red-tailed hawk. Red-tailed hawks are enormous birds commonly found across North America. It can often be seen perched on roadside poles or soaring over open areas looking for prey from way up high. Hawks are some of the top predators in the world and typically weigh between 2 to 4 pounds and have a wingspan of nearly 5 feet. Hawks have exceptional vision, and in fact, a red-tailed hawk can spot a mouse from 100 feet high. Their eyesight is their main hunting tool, and they have over 1 million photoreceptors per square millimeter compared to us humans who have about 200,000. Hawks can dive 150 miles per hour through the air and grab their prey either from midair or off the ground. It will grab its prey with its massive talons that are capable of crushing small bones. They are keen and efficient predators but aren't ashamed at all about stealing food from others. Of course, they are extremely deadly to their prey, which ranges from everything from small mammals to birds to reptiles. They are fierce protectors of their nests and see humans as a threat. If you are caught too close to a red-tailed hawk's nest, it will swoop down and try to scratch your eyes out with its talons. A red-tailed hawk built a nest near a school, and several people were severely injured when they were gashed in the head by the hawk's talons. Some PE classes were moved inside. Number 9. The lamb vulture. Also called the bearded vulture or Lammergeier vulture, which is German for lamb vulture, it is a large old-world vulture that reaches over 3 feet in length with a wingspan of up to 10 feet. It is a pretty fearsome bird, and you can imagine in the past it was highly respected and feared. These intimidating birds are found from Central Asia to Eastern Africa and Southern Europe. Its name, lamb vulture, comes from its habit of carrying away lambs and dropping them on the cliffs to shatter them and break them open more easily. They dine almost exclusively on carrion or the rotting flesh of dead animals. The bearded vulture especially enjoys bone and bone marrow, which is why it drops carcasses from as far up in the air as 260 feet to help them get to what's inside. It's a little bit creepy as it also dyes its feathers blood red with soil that contains iron oxide, making it one of the most feared birds in the animal kingdom. It's practically unheard of for a lamb vulture to attack or kill a human, but Aeschylus, the Greek dramatist, reportedly died as the result of one dropping a tortoise onto his bald head from above. Others have also claimed they will carry away small children if you're not careful, but this is most likely a myth. So the lesson is, what you should really be afraid of is when dropping something on your head. And now for number 8. But first, let me know your bird stories in the comments below. And big shout out to Mad Eric and Philippe Buenavista for their nice comments. So glad you liked the videos and also learned something. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell if you haven't already and join the Origins Explained family. Number 8. Great Northern Loon. Also known as a common loon, the great northern loon is a diving bird ranging in length from 2 to 3.2 feet and with a wingspan of up to 5 feet. This migratory bird spends its summers in the northern United States and travels farther south along the Pacific and Atlantic coastlines for the winter. Interestingly enough, it's one of the world's most primitive bird species and dates back to the earliest stages of avian evolution. Most of you have probably seen this bird, and I've never thought it was dangerous, so what's the big deal? Although the common loon only weighs between 8 and 12 pounds, it has a sharp, spear-like beak that it uses to stab fish. When threatened, a great northern loon will target a person's head or neck, just like it does to other natural predators like bald eagles, skunks, sea otters, and gulls. They are also known for their signature blood-red eyes and their eerie and haunting call. However, their red eyes are only present in the summertime. In the winter, they are known to have gray eyes. While these birds are not normally known to attack humans, it has happened. There are stories where these birds have mistaken someone for a predator and stabbed them with their bill, once even killing an ornithologist. This was definitely a freak accident, but if you are not careful, it is possible for these animals to hurt you. Admire them from a distance. It is important to note that deaths caused by these birds are extremely rare and that, as always, humans are much more damaging to them than they are to us. Number 7. The barred owl. The stealthy, fluffy, medium-sized barred owl has a large round head and is widespread throughout North America, but is native to the swampy southern United States. It grows up to 21 inches long and has a wingspan of around 3.5 feet. As a nocturnal hunter, the barred owl typically poses little to no threat to humans. However, it flies very silently thanks to its specialized feathers, and when triggered, it's prone to becoming extremely aggressive. You might provoke one without realizing it, and they might come out of nowhere. When a barred owl goes after someone, it aims for their head, and this can result in serious or at least bloody injuries for humans. Hikers in the Pacific Northwest of the US and as far north as Canada's British Columbia are encouraged to be extremely cautious against potential attacks due to barred owls colonizing the area's forests. Their population is doing well, probably because they're so tough. In Oregon, joggers have been getting dive-bombed in Bush Pasture Park for years now. One runner noticed a scratch on his head, and when he turned around, an owl was taking off with his favorite Nike hat. Others got pierced in the head with sharp talons, sometimes repeatedly. These incidents increase during mating season and when the birds are preparing to raise their young. Don't worry, they're not trying to kill you. Number 6. Mute swans. Swans are known as beautiful, graceful birds, and sometimes it's difficult not to go near them, but you should think twice about it. These birds weigh up to 28 pounds and are one of Europe's largest and heaviest native waterfowl, with a wingspan of up to 8 feet, but they can be found all over the world now. The mute swan prefers ponds, inland lakes, rivers, and wetlands. However graceful and gorgeous, it may pose a very real threat to any human who goes near it due to its tendency to become aggressive. Most attacks happen during the spring nesting season as a result of swans vigorously defending their territory. If you go near mute swans and they feel threatened, they will run at you with hissing sounds and strike at you with their strong wings. Considering their size and strength in their wings, their attack could result in serious injuries, especially since they go after the eyes. They have attacked kayakers, swimmers, and people just walking around lakes. Michigan is having a big problem with these birds because they are not afraid of humans, and people often get into close contact with them. As the population grows, so do the conflicts. They are also a danger to native wildlife and are attacking and killing native birds. A kayaker in Chicago was killed when the swans knocked him out of his kayak and blocked him from swimming to shore. The father of 2 drowned to the shock of witnesses and police. Studies have shown that they actually have facial recognition, so if you live in an area with swans, be careful because it will know who its friends and enemies are. If you live near swans, make sure to take some bread with you or something. Number 5. European herring gull. The European herring gull is a large bird found throughout northern and western Europe. They grow up to 26 inches long and have a wingspan of 4 to 5 feet. Although it's not the largest bird on this list, it's notorious for attacking humans as well as stealing food. These birds have become such a threat to humans because they are in close contact with us, and they tend to build their nests in urban areas. Combined with the fact that they are very protective of their territory means they have learned to attack with confidence. They're known for stealing food from not only other animals, but humans, which is when they will also attack with their wings and razor-sharp bills. You should keep a safe distance from these birds because they attack in a team. If one herring gull is alone and being provoked, it will immediately call for help from other adult birds. Don't be deceived by its solitary appearance. Alfred Hitchcock vibes, anyone? 66-year-old Sue Atkinson was walking with her dog when she was attacked. She was left terrified with blood pouring from a head wound. In 2017, reporter David Barnett for The Independent claimed that he witnessed 2 to 3 gull attacks daily along England's beaches. Apparently, such attacks were on the rise in the area, with nobody being spared, including children. The Mirror is calling these gulls Britain's new public enemy number 1 due to the increase in attacks. The seagulls are getting out of control. Number 4. Australian magpie. Despite being medium-sized, the Australian magpie is the second most dangerous bird in the country. Don't worry, I'll tell you about number 1 in a bit. It lives across most of Australia, favoring grasslands, parks, fields, and gardens. Apparently, out of all the dangerous, deadly, venomous creatures that live in Australia, the most feared animal is the Australian magpie. In the springtime, September and October for them, when nesting period arrives, it is swooping season. The magpies become extremely aggressive, and locals will start sharing online maps with nest locations so that the next person can avoid that area. Magpies will do whatever it takes to protect their nest, and because there are so many of them, they are a huge problem. They will claw at your head and face and try to poke out your eyes. Cyclists will attach zip ties that stick up on their helmets so the birds can still swoop but won't get too close. Each year, Australians suffer from eye injuries and will fall off their bikes, breaking bones and all kinds of things. In September of this year, a 76-year-old Australian cyclist died after being attacked by a magpie. He veered off a bike path to avoid a magpie in Nicholson Park, south of Sydney, and crashed into a fence post. Unfortunately, the man suffered serious head injuries and passed away after being airlifted to the hospital. Magpies are one of the most intelligent animals there is, and they are able to recognize themselves in a mirror. Because they are able to recognize faces, they might attack the same person year after year. Who are the most affected victims, you ask? The mail carriers. Some of them are attacked over 200 times a day. Number 3. Emu. The emu is robust and long-legged and can run at a speed of up to 30 miles per hour. The emu typically only attacks when cornered and will do so by kicking with its 3-toed feet. Emus have sharp, strong claws and are capable of shredding their attacker, much like the ostrich and the cassowary, but is usually non-aggressive in the absence of a reason to attack. Human fatalities are therefore very rare, although reports of emu attacks are fairly common in both the wild and in wildlife parks. In 2009, there were over 100 emu attacks on humans. In 2011, NBC Washington put out an alert that an emu was spotted in the Huntingtown area of Calvert County, Maryland, and that the bird should be considered dangerous. The sheriff's office assumed that the bird was someone's lost pet and warned people not to approach it, and animal control authorities were unable to capture the bird. Who knows, there might be some out there just roaming around. Number 2. The ostrich. Ostriches are flightless birds that are native to the African plains. They're the largest birds on Earth, with adult males reaching up to 9 feet tall and weighing as much as 330 pounds. Nearly half the bird's height is just its neck, but it doesn't make them any less intimidating. Their legs are their main weapons. The 2-toed ostrich usually relies on its hoof-like feet for escaping humans and other large carnivores, and in doing so it can reach great speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. When cornered, however, an ostrich will respond with kicks powerful enough to kill predators as big as lions. Most ostrich attacks on humans result from being provoked, meaning deaths from its kicks and slashes are rare. Johnny Cash kept a wild animal park with ostriches in it. In 1981, he encountered an aggressive male specimen during several of his walks throughout the property. One time, Cash swung a 6-foot-long stick at the bird, who successfully dodged the weapon and came at the musician with his claws. The bird slashed at Cash's abdomen, which was just spared thanks to his large belt buckle. He said that otherwise, he might have been killed by that ostrich. Number 1. The cassowary. There are between 3 and 6 cassowary species, depending on who you ask. The southern cassowary is related to the emu and lives throughout Australia and New Guinea. It's considered the most dangerous bird in the world. It's also the world's second largest bird, weighing between 165 and 176 pounds. As you have already guessed, they are highly protective of their territory. The cassowary has a terrifying reputation for killing humans by slashing its victim with its feet. It has 3 toes, each equipped with a razor-sharp claw up to 5 inches long. When it attacks someone, the cassowary uses its innermost claw, which is long and dagger-like, and which certainly helps get the job done. In fact, its chosen method of attack is what makes the cassowary so dangerous to humans. In 2007, this bird was declared the most dangerous bird by the Guinness Book of Records. Besides having sharp talons, cassowaries can run extremely fast and have been observed sprinting at up to 31 miles per hour. Imagine that thing chasing you. Despite the cassowary's ability to attack and cause great harm to humans, such incidents are rare. The bird is inherently curious, but not necessarily aggressive by nature. When they attack, it's usually because they're seeking food from their target or feel provoked in some way. Then they can also jump on their victim in an attack like a velociraptor from Jurassic Park. In 2012, a hungry cassowary pushed a Queensland tourist off a ledge and into the water. Luckily, they were unharmed. The first known confirmed attack to result in a human death was in 1926, when a cassowary leaped on and killed a teenage boy who was among a group that was out hunting cassowaries. Earlier this year, a cassowary attacked and killed a 75-year-old man in the state of Florida after the man fell into the bird's enclosure. In the end, humans have killed many more cassowaries throughout history, and we are more of a danger to them than they are to us. Thanks for watching! Have you ever been attacked by any of these birds? Any stories to share? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye!